who is known for notoriety to be the chairman of INEC. I wish it is not true. Because if that man becomes the chairman of INEC, be rest assured that this government is inviting a civil war in this country.
Good day, Mr. Chinedu.
Good day.
If you are watching, viewers, click on the like button, drop your comments, and also share this program. Mr. Chinedu, Trump rejects President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term presidential ambition. Has he not endorsed Jonathan Nnamdi? What do you have to say about this?
Yes, I would not know actually when it was being reported that Trump take such stand on Tinubu, and there's a lot of things that might have led to that decision by Donald Trump. Donald Trump, to an extent, for a lot of people who see him, means a lot of things to different people. Not everybody can understand Trump. Trump understands the world and knows how to play, the world politics. There's this face-off always between Donald Trump, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The issue of the Israeli Hamas, the issue of tariff and all that, and also drug-related issue, which FBI is still working on that case file. Not only that, the relationship that actually played out between Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Joe Biden, how they were able to support Joe Biden against Trump as at that time. Those things were actually put in place. Those things were actually been documented, and at every point in time references have been made. These are the glaring facts. The Oval Office are going to look at, if they are considering whoever they want that they intend to support ahead of 2027 election. So, the rejection, has been that of Tinubu using Emmanuel Macron and other people now to launder his image, abroad. I see how they are going to, survive at the end. He's going to survive at the end of the day. But unfortunately for him, every effort he made, using Macron, fell on deaf ears. He was sent back. He was ordered back to run away from France. As a result of, the allies, of the United States of America have already seen his tendencies where he's actually pushing. But he doesn't understand the international politics and know what international politics is all about. That was why he quickly, left France. Nobody know why he left France all of a sudden and ran back to Nigeria. Maybe, if they have been instructed him to leave France or anything, it can happen. But yes, he has come to take that stand, and basically, as reported, that he will never support his second-term ambition because his policies and tendencies and his record does not show that he is a leader. He does not show that he's democratic. He does not show, that he's worth being at that, executive position, a well-respected position as the president of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu manipulative tendencies has taken a global dimension that people are now beginning to question his personality and how he was able to come to that level where he is. We know that it was the Northerners actually that pioneered that arrangement to where it is, because they fear that Igbo man can never be president, and that if Igbo man becomes president, what is left for the North. But unfortunately, over the years, close to 60 years now, the Igbo man has not been able to hit that executive position because of the kind of policies they play. So I think to an extent that that has what it's not as if that Donald Trump is actually looking at the northern part of the country, rejection of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term ambition to take decision. America has independently taken a decision on this man, and he might not be able to understand that there might have been an underground opinion pool that shows that Nigerians are no longer comfortable with this type of administration where we find ourselves, where everybody is burdened with the reality on ground. And what's the reality on ground? Nigerians are going through the burden of a bad leadership, of bad government, or in terms of policy and economy. Everything is just upside down. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has borrowed over close to 80 trillion in less than 2 years, while Muhammadu Buhari borrowed 12 trillion in 8 years. So how would you justify this kind of calamity? And that is why you are seeing this global and organic outcry that Tinubu will never return to Aso Rock 2027. The cry is organic, it emanated from the grassroots. It was not paid for, it was not induced. People are reacting to the reality of failure of this government. Then the not to having realized that it was a calamity and the mistake they can never repeat themselves. That Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a mistake they can never repeat any day, anytime. And that is what they are saying. But I do not know, whether actually that is the reason why we are hearing that, Trump has rejected him and rejected him completely. And every move for him to get international access, in terms of diplomacy, in terms of channels, in terms of support and other, has already been shut down by Trump. And Trump has not only that, has stepped up campaign against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, went to London to block him, went to France and told Macron he should leave France immediately, or else anything will happen. And you know that France is where we have the international headquarters of Interpol. Anything can happen at any time and any day. And when that intelligence report came, Tinubu has to disappear. If you go to other powerful nations where Tinubu is running to, like Russia and all the rest of them, China, and look at him now saying that we must learn Russia, we must learn China by force, we must understand China language by force, we must do this by force, everything by force, we must pay. Even though for our money that we have in the bank are collecting commission, that we must pay for it. That is tyranny. That is emperoric tendencies. That's an act of jihad and extremism, and that is what it has brought to the Nigerian people. And that's why the signal here that we're receiving from the north, might be very difficult for northerners, to back him up. He might be trying to destroy the Igbo people, who are these Efulefus, who are Fulani governors. I can tell you that without any reservations, though all of them are keeping quiet. Umahi, Benjamin Wifuru, Peter Mba, name all of them. They are just tailored Fulani agents, just planted there ceremoniously, looking from left to right without any direction. None of the governors can stand up and challenge what the conquest they have brought to the people of Eastern Nigeria, courtesy of this government called APC government.
But Mr. Chinedu, we've seen the president traveling to Russia, to Brazil, and to other countries. Why do you think I've never seen him travel to the US? Do you think he does not have?
No, bro. He doesn't have, and he can never have it under Donald Trump, and that is why he's he's trying to get access to Donald Trump through the back door by romancing a friend of him that he knows here in Lagos when he was serving as a diplomat in French High Commission here in Lagos. That was all. If not, Macron wouldn't listen to him. I am telling you, Macron will not listen to him. That is all. Every day is France. Every day France. Every day France. And we are not seeing anything. All we see is borrowing, hyperinflation, destruction of our economic life, destruction of our individual life. Making sure that he imposed tyranny on the people of Nigeria and those who are criticizing his government and encouraging bigotry and ethnic attack on the Igbo people. That is what the highest thing, I wonder, bro, look at what is it happening. Why is it that it's only the Southerners, Yorubas that are attacking Obi? We are not seeing Northerners attacking Obi. The so-called Northerners, they say they hate Igbo man. They're not attacking Obi. It is the Yorubas that are attacking Obi. Look at Abike Dabiri, Bayo Ononuga, all of them are attacking the Igbo structure. But let us see how it's going to pan out at the end of the day, because everything has a defining time, a defining moment. So politically now, you begin to understand gradually that, there's tension in Aso Rock currently now, a mighty tension, unforeseen tension, physical, not name it, one manner of tension, because Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not know where he's going to lay his hand. The southern Nigeria is not even in support of him. You can see that what the Yoruba leaders are saying, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a mistake that they will never repeat in their life. As simple as that. You can go and for check. Anybody watching this video that can check by himself and understand the direction everything is going, and understand actually whether this thing, is it real? Is it actually real or not? So what he did now is to look for countries. So how many powerful presidents of this world Bola Ahmed Tinubu align with apart from France? Mention one person. He can't go to the Britain. The British government are not talking to him. Keir Starmer of Britain now, Prime Minister. Let me tell you, in the next few days or few months from now, he'll be removed as the Prime Minister of Britain, and a woman will be installed. And the coming of that woman is going to proclaim another republic in Africa called Biafra. I'm telling you, go and mark my word. Because those who have aligned with Islamic tendencies to bring oppression to the Christian kingdom, to the Christians themselves, to bring killing, the world need to ask questions now. So you that does not align with the American policies, foreign policies, you went as far as going from behind, and you are embracing those countries that does not align with American, even though where they were properly advised ab initio on May 29, 2003. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was advised to stay clear from anything that has to do with confrontation with Donald Trump. You can see he has gotten himself involved. He aligned with Breeze. You can see what happened. Which time is Breeze going to take over the IMF policies and overthrow pounds, overthrow euro, overthrow dollars? I don't know why this has become a misplaced priority in a man that's seen as a southern president, that the US is against the candidate of a southern presidency, and the North is against the southern presidency, just because that Tinubu has brought calamity and disgrace to the region that claim they are more sophisticated. So in the absence of the federal government presence in Lagos State, so is that the kind of thing would have been claiming, or left, right, without a proper direction? It is a claim that he actually developed Lagos, but we are seeing what is happening at the federal level at this point in time. How would you justify that? That a man that is being believed to have acquired so much knowledge in terms of what the structure. Now look at him, he cannot even try one, he cannot even perform one. No one single penny, he cannot even do that. So what he brought to government is a toutish form of oppression and suppression to take over power.
Now, in conclusion, Mr. Tinubu, our viewers, if you are watching, click on the like button, drop your comment, and also share the program. Share to WhatsApp group, to Facebook group. Mr. Tinubu, in the past, we saw that the North condemned the act of Jonathan. Now they are calling for Jonathan to come back. What do you think might be happening? That's
a very beautiful question, and I must want to advise Jonathan very clearly now at this point in time. You saw what happened in Rivers State, how a sitting governor was being removed. I know how much Jonathan contributed to the democratic process in Rivers State, and I know Jonathan came out and made it very clearly that he was actually betrayed. Imagine a president coming out to say that they betrayed him. Imagine that pain, that he actually, psychological pain he went through. So it will be very funny, and that was why Peter B visited Jonathan to tell him a very clear statement, and Nigerians have told him very clearly, So yes, in as much as we appreciate your humility, your humanity, please respect yourself while we respect you. You are already in charge of the global conflict resolution around the world. An honorable appointment by United Nations. As a result of you not accepting Islam, as a result of you not accepting jihadists, as a result of you not spilling blood, as a result of you allowing peace to be. But unfortunately, the party you handed over Nigeria to has collapsed Nigeria. You see, the reason why now the Northerners are now trying to come back from the back door, and the man has to take a decision, and the wife has spoken. Jonathan cannot go through this again. Allow him. But if Jonathan thinks funny, that means he wants to betray the consciousness of those who sacrificed for his presidency. The likes of Dora Akunyili and the rest of them, who paid dearly with their life because they wanted Jonathan to be president. I think to an extent, Jonathan should be able to respect that, to understand that very clearly, and be at the background to support the most popular president in Nigeria now, 2027, who is Peter Obi. It will be an honorable thing for Jonathan to align with Atiku in that direction. Yes, ADC is spreading. There's nothing they cannot do. When they have decided this is the direction and the coalition is coming. And that's the reason why everybody is attacking Obi. Because they have seen it very clearly that the powers that be has already endorsed Obi. The global community have already signaled that Nigeria might have another option of embracing leadership. Would they miss it in 2023? They have an option now. A lot of people will not agree, those who are benefiting from the largesse of the APC. They might not agree. But this psychological understanding and consciousness will live with them forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Majority of Nigerians, yes, there are big men in Nigeria, there are people who are okay, too much comfortability, are okay in Nigeria. But in the reality on ground, Nigeria, over 190 million people is already been thrown into poverty level. And by 2030-35, Nigeria will be hitting close to 450 million in population. And they have borrowed what they cannot pay in 100 years. How would you justify that? So we need a government, we need a system, we need sophisticated leadership to be able to pull Nigeria out from this quagmire and stop feudalism, jihadist tendencies, stop Boko Haram completely. Because you can see somebody came out and said, they don't want a Christian governor in Southwest. What does that tell you? A very popular person. What does that tell you? These are signs that all is not well in Nigeria. And the North is insisting that any attempt by this very man to tamper with the process of election like they did in 2023 will result to civil war and total balkanization of Nigeria. Thank you.
Viewers, if you are still watching, click on the like button, drop your comment and